In this video, we're going to talk about how to mail out your postcards through the REALTY system. Pretty slick, pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's just read right through. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to enter all your personal information to be printed on the postcards and the mailers. So basically, we're going to create a default for things like the return address and the like. So the way to do that is we're going to follow this link system. We're going to go marketing, tools, print house, and then personal info. And the other way to get there, if you want to go real fast, is use this direct link. You just click on it and click down here, and it'll hyperlink you in there. That's the fast way, but I'm going to go ahead and take the slow way just to show you where it is. And again, marketing, tools, print house, personal info. So the first place you're going to end up when you go into REALTY is you're going to be on the dashboard. And from here, you're going to click marketing. Then on the left, you're going to go down to tools, and you're going to look for print house. Click print house. And now we're in here, and we're going to go over to the very far upper right where it says personal info, and click that. And there's our personal info. Next, we're going to enter all of your information as you want it to appear on the postcard. And we're talking about things like the return address. So take a look here. The company logo is already in there. You could also do, say, your office logo or anything unique to you. Maybe you have something for your team. That's where it would go there. Next, we're going to go down and start filling in the information. So displayed company name would be EPIQUE Realty. It says Inc. I'm going to say, I believe it's LLC. And so we'll get that fixed. And then we've got displayed agent name. That's going to be your name, your email address. And then also you can have a displayed return address. If you want the mail to go back to you when it's undeliverable, you would put in a return address here. And then up here on the right column, we got displayed company address. So this is coming directly from EPIQUE. This is their office, their physical office that they have in Denver. And you would find out what your physical office is that they have in your area. All right, we got displayed phone number. I'll go ahead and put in a couple of hyphens to make it look a little better. And then also got the displayed, if you have a license number for your state, and that's required for you to display it on your marketing, you could put it in there. All right, we'll go down to the bottom. It says displayed agent photo. If you'd like to update your photo from what it is in REALTY, you want to have something different on your postcard. And you want it to be the default for your postcards, then you could put it in there. I already have mine in the REALTY system, so I'm not going to add anything here. You double check all your information, and once it looks good, you go ahead and click save. Looks like it doesn't like the hyphens, so we'll go ahead and take the hyphens back out. Maybe it'll add the extra spaces when it prints. Let's see if we click save and that works. There you go. Notice I'm just practical. I'm just going to make it work. All right, so we just click save by clicking the save button on the bottom right of the page, and then we're going to click the back button. So we're back up here. We're going to click this back button. Now we're back in the print house, and logic would tell you that let's go ahead and operate out of the print house to send a mailer. But what I found is you won't get the best results if you do this, not for our purposes. So interestingly, we're actually going to go back into the design center down below. So again, we updated our information for that personal information over here in the upper right in print house. But the next step, we're going to go to design center. So let me show you that. So let's go down to this next one. We're going to select the postcard to mail, and we're going to do that by going to the design center. And to get there, we'd go marketing, tools, and design center. So let's go ahead and show that. Again, if you just had come in the beginning and you had already got your personal information, and there you go, marketing, and then you go tools, and then you go design center. Keep trying to show you how to navigate around. But here we go. We're now in the design center, and typically you'll start here, REALTY Designs, and let's go ahead and start there. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to select My Designs, and then you're going to click that Agent Design folder. So from here in the upper bar where it says Design Center, it says REALTY Designs, My Designs, Brand Kit. We're going to click My Designs. And then in this list of My Designs, we'll go down and find where we had saved ours. And it's, if you'd followed our directions, it's your name, and the word design. So we'll click that open. And we just found all the postcards that we've created so far. Remember, we did double duty. We created this in the social media section. And so it's already here where we were able to print out the first page to use for social media. And now we'll print out the first and second page for the direct mail postcard. All right, we're going to click on the design that we want to send out, that we want to mail. So let's just pick one of these. Okay, so we're going to pick one of these properties, and since one of the strongest things that we can send out is evidence of success, we've got just listed, just bought, and just sold. Just sold is probably the strongest if we're trying to pick up sellers, homeowners. So let's pick that one. We'll click it and open it up. And there we go. We got all the information we need. At this point, we're going to just verify the information is correct. We're going to read through it. Looks like we got the address correct. I'll go ahead and I'm going to make some, I want you to see you can make changes. So I'm going to change that big T to a little t. I'll put a space here for Aurora. I'll even put in the state, Colorado. I could have left it alone, just made a little change there. Let's say that this price is correct. Actually, let's say that was when we actually ended up selling the property was a different price. Maybe we ended up with 731. 750 when we got through with all of our negotiations. How's that? Remember, we got the price listed twice here, so we'll go ahead and update this one to 731, 750, and there we go. Also, you notice I added a comma to distinguish and make it look a little clearer to read. Either way would have been fine. It is still 5-bedroom, 5-bath. It's a beautiful picture of the house. I go down to just sold, read it. Yep, looks good. I'm going to go ahead and read the rest. It says, hey, find out what your home is worth, color, text, and the phone number is correct. The front is looking good. So now I'm going to go to the second page, and I'll go ahead and read through there and make sure I don't have any typos or other issues. So Mike sold another home. When you need to move, call Mike. So that's going to be your name in there. See all the homes for sale in the MLS at, and it's got my website, mikecerrone.epicrealty.com. And then down below here, we've got my picture, and then my name and my phone number, my email, and my title and my company. So that's all looking good. And then our quick call to action. Hey, thinking about moving? For buyers, we say, hey, ask me for my list of the top 10 best homes in your desired area and price range. And then for sellers, we've got, hey, ask me for my home value estimate to learn the highest price you can sell your home. And then we also have our final little disclosure. If you have to add any other information in here for your state's disclosure, go ahead and do that. And then over here is where we're going to leave space for the postage to be put in. So the return address, the mailed out address, and then postage will be up here. So we need to leave all this white space open. Go ahead and make any modifications or changes. Once it's good, you're ready to go. Now, I did make a change up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Save. Save to folder. And then I'm going to open it back up. And notice it kept our changes there. Those are looking good. And I just make another quick glance at the back. Yeah, we are in good shape. We're ready to go. Let's read the next part. All right, so we clicked on the design. We reviewed the design. Page 1 is the front of the card, and page 2 is the back. We showed you that. We're going to click the checkout button in the upper right-hand corner once we have everything ready to go. So let's do that. So up here, and again, instead of being in the print center, what we're going to do is we're going to do this from the design center, and we can get into the checkout. So we're going to click this checkout button in the upper right-hand corner where it says checkout, and the blue button. Click that. What it's going to do is say, hey, what type of direct mail do you want to send? Are you sending a letter? Are you sending a postcard? And in this case, we're sending a postcard, so we'll click postcard. So what it does is it opens up this screen for us on the right that we can start making modifications, changes, make sure that we're ordering the correct thing. Let's go look back at our directions. We're going to select the postcards for the type, which we just did. And then we're going to review and fill in the form information on the right. For instance, we're going to say it's a postcard, that the front is the page 1 and the back is page 2. This is important. The size is 6x9. All right. And once that all looks good, we're going to click continue. And then we're going to read the reminder and click confirm. So let me show you what that means. So we're talking about over here on the right. You'll notice since we already selected postcards, it's already filled in and we can't even change it. That's what we're going to print. And then it says, hey, the front of your postcard, what do you want to do? Well, I want to do this page 1. See, page 1 is here. If I opened it up, I could have reversed them, but I'm going to do that's page 1. That's the front. And then we got the back is page 2. Okay. And so that's already pre-selected. That looks good. So that was page 1 and page 2. And then over here it says, what size do you want to print? And we could do the really small postcard. We could do the 6x9 or the 6x11. Well, this whole thing was laid out for a 6x9. In particular, this page 2. See how it's got the space there now for the mail out. We left that white spaced, okay? And so we're doing the 6x9 postcard. All right, once you got that all ready to go, I'll also point out, notice this blue line. It's showing where the cut could happen. And you want to make sure all the text is within it. Boy, we barely have our little disclosure in there, so hopefully that comes out fine. And then here we also have the blue line, and everything is within the blue line. So looks pretty good. All right. So once we've confirmed all that, we'll read this important item. Hey, do not put any important text or graphics outside the safety lines, which we just showed you, the blue line. Do stretch background colors, images beyond the safety lines to avoid uneven white borders on the resulting print job. You'll notice this black one, this black box is stretched beyond the line, and that is so that the cut will be nice and clean, and it won't show black and then white before it goes to nothing. It's just going to go black to nothing. Same thing on this one, as you can see, where this is what they call bled edge or bleeded edge. All right, and that's what they're talking about. Okay, next, do keep all information, text, graphics outside of the ink-free area. And what they're talking about there is right here, the ink-free area, this in pink and red, where they're going to put the addressing to send the postcard out. All right, and then do preview your design before sending. We did a preview already, but you might want to take a final glance at it. Since you are spending money on this, you do want to make sure it's done right the first time. All right, and also, I probably already mentioned this, but be sure to add yourself to the mailing list, which we're going to get to in a second. I will click continue. Then it's going to say, hey, here's a reminder, and it's going to go through those reminders again, right? Do not put any important text and graphs outside of the blue line. Do stretch the background colors and images beyond the safety lines to get a nice clean cut when they go to cut it. And then finally, do keep all information, text, graphics outside of this red area, which is this ink-free area. All right, and then you can say, hey, don't remind me of that anymore. I just leave it on, so it just gives me a reminder, and I'll click confirm. Okay, now we'll go to the print mailer page. I see we're in the print mailers page right up here. All right, so this is the page where we will select what to mail out. Let's keep going. The mailer type is already selected as a postcard. That's up here. It's already been done, 1. That's why it skipped. Next, we have select design. We're going to walk through the front and back. And also, we're going to indicate no tracking code, which I'll show you that in just a second. What we're going to do is we're going to confirm the front of the back of the part is in the preview. So that's up here, front and back preview. That does look like, and I'm going to double check. Yep, that's the just sold front. And this is the just sold back. I'm going to double check Mike sold another home. So that is correct. All right, good. So we've got the correct stuff selected. It gives you a couple of other options in case you want to change the front or the back with some other designs maybe you've sent out before or some that they recommend. We're not going to do that. We've already selected exactly what we want. All right, and that's what this was saying. Hey, if you didn't get the right thing, you can select something else. Then we're going to click the next button on the bottom right to move through the options. So down here in the bottom right, the blue button, we'll click that, and you'll notice up here on the upper left that we're going to move to the next item. Ready? So we're going to click next, and it's going to say, hey, if you choose not to insert the tracking tool, you won't be able to track the post-shipment behavior of the leads. And what that's talking about is that you have the option in some of these designs to add a QR code, and then if somebody were to scan that QR code, that would send them back to your website. And at that time, Lofty then would say, hey, these people came back to your website. And so we're going to go ahead and notify you that that's happened in some of their actions. For our purposes, we didn't have a QR code on there. I decided I'd rather use the space to make a better offer. And so we're going to go ahead and click the word confirm to say, yeah, I understand that, and we'll move forward. And so over here on the left, it went from front of design back to design, and there was no setup tracking. And so it goes right to number 3, which is set up recipients. And there we are. So, right, we just confirmed we don't want the tracking code, the QR code for the mailer. And now we're going to go to set up recipients. All right, what we're going to do here is we're going to click on the icon that says select existing leads in your CRM. So over here, we got a couple of options of what kind of recipients we want to send this thing to. We can go ahead and select out of our CRM. We can upload a brand new mailing list from another source, like if you have a CSV file, or you can select homeowners through their database. And what we're going to do is we're pulling, this is our PCSOI, so we're going to pull it right out of the CRM that we've already created. So we'll go ahead and click that button. What it did was it created a new tab with your CRM now open inside of Lofty, and gives you the option to do a search. All right, so we are now in the people section of the CRM that just opened, and we're going to search for the people we want to mail to. We can click a filter, which is the fastest way to do this that we recommend. And then the filters, you're going to enter the tag, and then it's going to say include one of the following, either select the down arrow or pick. And then the search of the tags, we're going to pick PCSOI. That was a lot, but don't worry, it's going to go pretty fast. So here we are. And what we've got is the entire database is in here, the entire list of people. And we got 12 leads, but I don't want to send it out to everybody because not everybody's in my CRM as a PCSOI. So the fastest way to make this work, if you've been following our recommendations, is over here in the upper right corner, there's a button that says filter. Click the filter. And then in the filter, it says search filters, and we're going to search tags. Okay, and then once tags pops up, we'll click on it. There we go, clicked on it, and it zipped us down to tags. And it says, hey, we're going to include one of, and then we're going to tell it what we want. So right down here where it says select tag, we'll click that open. And then below there, you can see there's a search icon. We'll click on it. And we're going to then type in PCSOI. And notice that we had already entered that before, so it pops up as an option. And we'll go ahead and click it. Notice what happened on the left. It reduced our list down to these 6 people in our PCSOI. And that's what we were talking about here. We got it all the way down to our PCSOI, our past clients and sphere of influence. Now it says, hey, there's a note you may want to add yourself as a PCSOI contact so you can receive the postcard too. So that's something you may have already needed to do before you got to this point. If you haven't and you want to get a postcard yourself and you don't see yourself in the list over here in recipients, then you should go back in and start back to the beginning of this. Before you started this postcard selection, go back in your CRM and add yourself as a people, right, as a person, and then you'll show up in this list over here. Okay, that's what we're saying with that note. Not a bad idea. In fact, it's an excellent idea to send yourself a postcard. Then you know when it hit, when it got into the market, you know how it looked when it got printed out, etc. You should at least do that for the first couple of cards to make sure the system is working. All right, let's keep moving. So next, you're going to click on Select All box at the top of the list of contacts. So assuming that this list is everything that you wanted, all up here, you can click this box. And when you click that box, it selects all of them. Now, I'll tell you, if you had a lot of people and it went beyond, say, the 50, it would say, hey, do you want to select just the people on this page, or do you want to select all the people that we pulled up? And in that case, remember, you want to select all the people that you pulled up, okay, beyond just the 50 that we're showing, okay? So let's say you had 75 or 125 or 300 or whatever your number is for your PCSOI. Again, you'll see when you click that button that it says, do you want to select just this page or everybody? And you would select everybody. Since I had less than 50, it just got them all in the first chance. All right, next, do a quick review. You're going to scroll down and review the list of the people in the column. And this is your last chance to make sure everybody's here. And maybe there's somebody you don't want in here. You're like, oh, wait, Tommy passed away. I can't send anything out to Tommy, poor guy. And you can uncheck him and not send him out something. Or maybe you decide to send it to him anyway because maybe the family will get it and it's been something that's recent. That's kind of morbid, but you get the idea. You're going to be able to screen down through your list and decide and make sure and confirm that everybody is in your PCSY and should be getting this postcard before you spend your money on it. All right, next we're going to go ahead and click the confirm button on the upper right side. So once this list looks good and you're confirmed, everybody's there that you want, up in the upper right corner, you're going to want to click confirm. Now this is where I could see you making a mistake where you click down here, it says create view. Create view is just creating a search that included what you did up here in this tag of PCSY. So you don't need that. What you do need is to click this confirm in the upper right-hand corner. So click that. Okay, and so there we go. It pulled in the people that we're going to mail out to. Now, I'll give you a quick note. I don't know if you noticed what happened. We had selected six people, but it only brought us 4. Why? Well, the answer is because of the 6, I only had addresses for 4. 4 of them I didn't have an address for, so we can't mail anything out to them. So that may happen to you, and if that's the case, if it comes back less than you expected, that's probably the reason. All right, so here we go. The mailing list is imported into the Print Mailer program, and that's what we just saw. It's right here now. Note, only contacts with a complete mailing address are imported for the mail out. This may be a smaller total number than expected, and we just mentioned that this was 4 instead of the 6 that were originally selected, because only 4 have a real address or have an address. Next, select the all box at the top of the contact list. Again, this is something you're going to have to do a second time because now you're in the print mailer section, not just your CRM. So it says, hey, are these the people you want to send out to? And so you select all. And so you notice that 4 selected just popped up. It said, yep, okay, we've now selected all 4 of these. And over here it's saying, hey, be sure you don't want to delete any of these. If you do, go ahead. But otherwise, we're going to send it out to these 4 folks. All right, we're going to scroll down and review the list again just to make sure we didn't pull in anybody we didn't want. Boom, boom, looking good. And then we're going to click the next button on the bottom right side. So now the next button on the bottom right side, now we're going back to the bottom and we're saying next to move forward through this print mailer section. All right, there we go. Now we're reviewing the order, All right, and that's the next section, review the order. So we're going to confirm the postcard is correct. It's the correct design. So I look at it real closely. Yeah, that is exactly what we wanted to mail out. We're in good shape. Next, we're going to enter the scheduled print date that you desire. Up here, it's going to give you the soonest that it could send something out. But you could also pick another date if you wanted to delay this for one reason or another. Let's say you're setting it up at the beginning of the month. You have an event in the 3rd week of the month, and you want to mail this out in, say, the 1st or 2nd week based on where you are and how long you think the mail will take to get there. By the way, that's another good reason to mail one of these out to yourself first to see how long it takes to get from the mailing house to you so you can kind of plan this out a little bit. So you can either send it out right away or you can schedule a date for the print. Now that's the printing. That doesn't include the mail out, although the mail out should happen pretty quickly after the print date. Next, you have to select the postcard postage type. It's either going to be standard or first class. Now, the standard could take 7 to 12 business days. That's 1 to 3 weeks, where first class could take 4 to 6 business days to arrive. And so most people are going to actually pick first class. There'll be a slight difference in the pricing. I'll point this out down below. So standard, if you look all the way to the bottom saying, hey, what are the bottom left? Today's charges are $4.60 on standard, but when you click to first class, it goes to $4.80. It was 20 cents more in that example to send them out first class. I recommend you send them out first class. So I've done a lot of work with standard or bulk mail, and you can do that, but there can be a delay in delivery. Okay, next we've got select the postage type, and we just did that. First class is going to be the fastest. We're going to review the set return address and modify it if needed. So here we go. This is the return address. Remember, that was pulled out of those defaults that we set up. And if you want to put in a different address here, then go right ahead, put in something unique or different. Just make sure that if it is returned, it would go back to you. Right? Do not put the office address in this return address for the office of EPIQUE. I'm sure EPIQUE does not want to get your 300 return addresses or postcards or whatever it is, a couple, even just 2 or 3 or 4. It's just going to be a nuisance for them. And so make sure that this is returned to your address if you want to put a return address in. Can you send it without a return address? The answer is yes. Just keep in mind you won't be notified if the address is not getting delivered to. Okay, next, order details. How are you going to order? You got a one-time charge. That's what we're going to recommend. Again, you got a one-time charge or recurring. We're not going to do recurring with this, all right? These are all unique each time, so it's just a one-time charge. Next, we got item. That's the correct. We're going to review this. It's a 6x9 postcard sent out by first class. We have 4 addresses we're sending to, and the total price is $4.80 for this. So it's about $1.20 a piece for both printing, labeling, and mailing. And of course, that's probably more than you expected because you're thinking about, if you're like me, you're thinking about printing out 100, 1,000, 5,000 at a time. But for a small batch print, that's not too bad, especially for a 6x9 card. Okay, so we just reviewed the size, the quantity, and the price. And it's estimated at $115. Actually, I think it was $120. Probably depends on the units, the quantity. But this case, it looks like it's $120. Next, we got the payment info. You're going to fill that out. So down here, you're going to fill out, if you're paying by credit card or debit card, you'd fill out this information. And then it would say, let's see, it says set this payment method as your default. That's your choice. I personally don't like doing that. I like to leave it unchecked so that I can make sure that my data is going in new and unique each time and it's not being saved in somebody's file. But that's your choice. But you want to put in your information for payment there. And remember, I recommend also that you use a credit card that's your business credit card. Always should keep your business and personal accounts separate so it's easy to do your accounting at the end of the year. Once all that information is in there, this button over here called Pay Now will show a dark blue so you can actually click it. Like right now, I can't click it, but you would be able to do that after you filled in your information and you click this button that says, I've read the LOPI terms of use, which you would want to do and make sure you understand what's going on there. So again, you're going to review everything and you're going to push the Pay Now button. So you review everything on the screen, go all the way back up to the top, checking everything, make sure everything's double check it, triple check it, make sure you're very happy with it because you are going to be spending some money on this to get this out, but it'll be money well spent. All right, once you are happy with all that, again, you press Pay Now and you've now made your order. And that's it. That is how you're going to mail out a postcard through Lofty. Pretty slick system, again, for how to mail out postcards through Lofty.